Hello Simmers, welcome back to my channel Simsational Builds. In case you don't know, my name is Deb and thanks for joining me today for another speed build. Today it's a special one. We're going to be doing a shell challenge. Now this is a shell challenge by Simplee Tierra. You can find it in the gallery under the hashtag Tierra's trailer shell. So as you can see, it is a trailer itself and I really like this one. I'm not usually a fan of shell challenges. It's not something that I would usually participate in, but I like this one in the fact that it is a trailer. It's something a little bit different and gives me an excuse to do another tiny home basically. Now I didn't go into this with a really clear idea of layout or anything like that, so you will see me sort of going backwards and forwards a little bit, but basically the vision that I had was a modern kind of black and wood toned tiny house. So because of the shape of the bottom one, I thought doing sort of like a container house. So it's got the container at the bottom with sort of an add-on second story at the top, which will have the bedroom in it. And I really wanted to introduce those really warm, almost yellow toned like pine colored wood, which is something that I would usually never go for. That yellow wood is usually atrocious for most of my builds, but here in this particular instance I actually quite liked it. Now I'm building this in Granite Falls, so again it's got that real woody kind of vibe, and basically not only did I want this to be a tiny house, I wanted it to be a lake house. So just somewhere where you can park your trailer and relax with a book and a cup of coffee or wine if you've had a tough, week, year, life, whatever. So I just wanted to be really relaxing, just a one bedroom and something that you can really enjoy, take your time and enjoy. And this kitchen, although it's looking a little bit sad right now, I really like how it turned out, so you will have to bear with me. I did go backwards and forwards on it a lot, but what I'm doing here is a really simple trick. So what those white things are debug canvases for paintings. So once you type in your cheats bb.showhiddenobjects, you can just type into the search bar painting and it will come up with the blank canvases. Now I think this one is either the medium one or the small one sized up once with a 9 key. I can't quite remember, but one of those fits in perfectly underneath the counters. And the handles themselves, all I did was use an object from the Dine Out pack, which is the card holder. Now I flipped it so that the front of the card holder is actually facing the wall, raised it up so that it's at the correct height, and just pushed it into the actual countertop so that the base of it is sticking out a little bit, and it forms these really cool 3D handles that you can recolor to suit whatever color you're going with your kitchen itself. So I thought that was a really cool little tip. The shelving that I'm making is using just the base game shelves and these base game poles, I suppose you could say, columns from the debug menu as well. So again, just some really nice little details that make it look like polished industrial, if that makes sense. Not a true industrial, something a little bit more refined than that. But again, just sort of goes with the whole vibe of what I'm doing. And of course I have to use the paranormal couches because, we now can't use anything else because they're too perfect. But yeah, so again, just going with that vibe. I actually really struggled trying to find something to speak to you guys about today. I'm just having a bit of an off day. I think I'm coming down with something, so I really hope that I don't have a croaky voice in this video. I do apologize. So I wanted to use a table instead of a island in this kitchen, so it's sort of like a dining table as well. And I love those new tables that we got in the new birthday pack, but the free birthday pack. But in true Max's style, even though they were created by custom content creators, the wood tones don't match. Come on. Come and help me, guys. There were so many awesome swatches, but nothing actually matched the woods that were already in game, and I was devastated. So yeah, anyway, side note, they're beautiful and I love the new objects. I think everyone did a fantastic job, and all the creators that worked on them were really, really cool. But I already have this problem of things not matching, like wood tones not matching. Could we not have fixed it with the one time when Max's wasn't actually making the objects? Anyway, moving past that. So now you can see where my kitchen's actually going. Looking much better from where it started. And, you know, I even remembered a trash can this time. So, you know, bonus. So what I really wanted to ask you guys, especially those that actually are content creators as well, so those that actually make YouTube videos also, is what do you guys do if you're not quite sure what to talk about in a voiceover, in a speed build? Like, do you guys make a script up? Do you have talking prompts? Is there a website with talking prompts that I can go to and find things to talk about if I just have no idea what to say to you guys? Because I'm really, like, I think, again, with my throat, I think I'm coming down with something. I think it's just a cold, nothing serious or anything like that. You know, not COVID. Just enough to keep me feeling just a little bit under the weather. And I did have a bit of a big night last night as well, so I really don't think that helps. But anyway, so back to the video. I've just done a really tiny bathroom at the very back of this trailer. It's fully functional, so because of the shower that comes with Discover University, you know, the one that's in the wall, that one there, your sim can actually walk through it or under it. So I placed the toilet just in like a little alcove behind it. So it still really works. It still works really well. You wouldn't be able to have two sims in there at once, but you know, that's fine. With the bedroom here, man, I love those windows. You just have this incredible view of that and lake that I ended up creating, and it just looks so beautiful. There's a perfect view of the sunrise as well in the particular lot that I've put it on as well. So it's just, it's stunning. Now I had a bit of a thing with these curtains. It is not the vibe that I'm going for right now, but I do fix it. I do get rid of those sort of drapey curtains in the end and put something a lot more modern. But as we all know, curtains in The Sims 4 are, you know, a struggle. But I can't do a bedroom without curtains. It's weird. I know it's not like really necessary in The Sims, but it just feels strange not to have curtains there. You have to have something to, you know, privacy. It exists even in The Sims, I'm sure. But anyway, man, so I've got a kitten, right? He's only 7 months old, so he's still really small. And I have been letting him out every now and then, especially when like my daughter and my dog are outside. So they all sort of hang out there together, and he just likes to chill and hang around and climb a tree and be up high and all that sort of stuff. So I don't mind him being out there with them, and you know, usually he'll come inside when everyone else does as well, because he doesn't really like being by himself. So thought, yeah, all's good. Let him do that today again. Everyone comes inside because it's, you know, late and time for, you know, my daughter's bath and things like that. Cat is nowhere to be seen. Find him in a tree outside. So, okay, you can stay out there. I can't get you down right now anyway, so I'll just put daughter to bed. Finally finish all that. Go to look for him outside. It is now dark. My door's been open. My back door's been open this entire time to let him in. Looking for him everywhere. He's not in the tree. He's not in the backyard. I cannot find this damn cat anywhere. And of course, he doesn't come to me when I actually call him or anything like that. So I'm calling out the front. I'm trying to call him. I'm trying to, you know, like rattle a bag of food, anything. Do not find him. Sending panicked messages to my husband at this point because I've got no idea where this damn cat is. Freaking out what I'm going to do if I can't find him for the night. And, you know, by the time I'm sending panic messages to my husband, you know, then all of a sudden I hear him just like, you know, coming around next to my ankles, go to grab him. He thinks it's a great game and runs away. So I'm panicking again at this point because I'm like, okay, at least I found him. At least he hasn't wandered off to, you know, some other neighbors that have got, you know, dogs that don't like cats or anything like that. But how the hell do I catch him? Because he just keeps running off. In the end, I had to like bribe him and, you know, stealthily catch him. But I don't think he's going to be going outside again for a little while if he's going to carry on like this, because that actually gave me a heart attack tonight. It was the first and only time he's done anything like that, because, like I say, he's about 7 months old, so he doesn't, I don't think he's got street smarts or anything like that yet. So that was my panic for the day, but I'm all right now. He's inside, he's safe, and he's been fed, and he's not going outside for a little while for my sanity. But anyway, I'm just getting together back to the build, I'm getting together some clutter now, so you'll see me sort of going backwards and forwards between a few rooms. And in the kitchen, I sort of just chuck everything on the countertop because there are too many things, and when I have all the items that I want, then I'll sit and go through because I'll have to move all the counters out of the way and things like that. But basically, again, just wanted to keep that clean, modern vibe, just use the shelving on the side. But I did just realize that I actually forgot to put a mirror in the bedroom. There is a small mirror in the bathroom, of course, so functionality is all there. But, you know, usually you'd have a mirror in the bedroom as well for getting changed or, you know, putting on your makeup or whatever. So there is the one there. So feel welcome to actually put a mirror in the bedroom if you do happen to download this build. But here I am, just moving things around finally. Oh, I love that hanging plant from the Paranormal Stuff pack. I honestly think that's one of these packs that I'll just end up using something from in every single build. And I know it's not a pack that everyone would actually go for or would want to buy, which is, you know, usually I would stay away from using that in every build. Like, for example, the Journey to Batu. Now, that one is definitely not for everyone. And I know a lot of people have refused to buy it out of pure principle and nothing else. So even though the thing is, some of the objects in there are awesome, especially the lights. The lighting is wicked. And even in the beginning of this video, when I was doing the pendant lighting over the island, I actually used 3 of the Journey to Batu lights, and the only reason I got rid of them was because I realized they would have been the only items in this entire build from that pack. And, you know, it would have, you know, probably warned a few people wouldn't have wanted to download it, I suppose, if they saw that it actually contained items from that pack. But, you know, if you find an item on the gallery, if you find a build on the gallery and it contains items from a pack that you don't actually own, you can check through the gallery what items are actually included in the build. So sometimes I'll only have a few items from a particular pack that I've actually included in a build. And when you go into the build itself, it'll show up all the icons of all the different packs that it's included. And if you click on the icons, it'll bring up the pack description. And then on the right hand side somewhere, it'll have a little button that will say show items from this pack or show items used, something along those lines. And then it'll actually come up with all the items that have been used in your pack, in your build. So you'll actually come up, if you see that it only uses 1 or 2, you know, decor items, then it doesn't actually affect anything to do with the build. But if it contains, you know, 15 columns, 3 windows, and, you know, a bunch of other things, then obviously it's a little bit more imperative to it. So that's a really good little nifty trick that I don't know if a lot of people know about, but I find it really helpful myself. So it could help you guys as well. The only thing is it doesn't show up debug items, so if you do happen to use some debug items in your build, it'll just show up as blank or something like that. So as you can see, I'm starting to work on the outside area now and starting to work on the lake, and this is actually quite mesmerizing for me to watch, just editing my video, because I have a much clearer idea of what I'm doing with the lake as opposed to the actual build itself. Because I'm used to creating ponds and things like that now, I've got another video that shows how to create natural looking ponds, pools and waterfalls as well. So if you're interested, you can check that one out. I'll link it up above for you as well, so you can have a look at it there. But I'm using the exact same principles. The only difference is I'm trying, as you can see, really trying to create a little jetty for my lake here. Now, once I've finished all of this and fiddled with it, it is still not usable because of the debug, jetty thing that's on top of it, even though it has a platform underneath it. So if you did want to actually be able to stand on it or anything like that, you will need to delete it and just put like a wood tone on it instead, so that you can actually stand on it. So as it is, it's actually just a decor item right now. It can be functional, but it'll need some fiddling with it. So in the end, I sort of just gave up on it because it is more for looks than anything else, because obviously your sim wouldn't be able to fish off it anyway. They wouldn't be able to dive off it anyway. So it's really not there for any particular use other than to look cool. But I'm just using these debug rocks on the sides of it. I like using them because they fill up the most space and require the least mucking around, rather than placing individual rocks everywhere. So I just place them on sort of half of it, just again to create that look. But half the time your sim can actually still walk through it anyway, because they're placed from down below. But it's all there for looks. It's all there for show. And I'm just putting some details on the inside of it. I really like using some of this grass that's in the Jungle Adventures pack, and the water tone itself was from Jungle Adventures as well. If you don't have those packs, I'm pretty sure that they are basically the only items that I have used from that pack. I can't think of anything else at the moment. So again, not imperative, you don't need those. The watercolor, you can use a different one from Get Together. I have used a bunch of items from Get Together, especially for this lake. So the water grasses and the watercolor itself, like I said before, are both from that pack, and I think I used a few items inside in the build as well. So that one does have a lot more items that I used within it, but you can still make it work. Obviously, if you only have base game, then this build will look completely empty basically, and even with no wallpapers. So there are a few build packs that are pretty important to this build. Probably the Machino stuff pack and the Eco Lifestyle pack would be the two biggest ones, but I know I use a lot of packs in this build. It is pretty pack heavy, as a lot of my builds are. I know that excludes a lot of people from being able to use or download them, and I do apologize for that. I am aware of it, but sometimes when I'm working on something and I have a vision of what I like to do, I don't like to be limited by packs and items when I know I have something that would work perfectly in that space instead. So what I suggest is, downloading it anyway, and then you know what it's supposed to look like, the vibe it's supposed to have, and you can always just substitute, the things that you don't have with whatever you do have in your game instead. So a couple of things will be different. I did go backwards and forwards again with some of these grasses because I didn't like how it looked, and there's a sign there next to the jetty, which is actually from the Snowy Escape pack, because I thought it looked cool, but then I realized if you tried to use it, because that's actually the hiking sign, if your sim actually tried to use it, it would cause a exception or like a bug in your game. So, and it could potentially cause a game to crash or something like that. So I ended up just deleting that because, better to be safe than sorry. I would hate for someone's game to crash just because I put an item there. But I'm just tidying up here. I'm just putting the final details down, like terrain paint, softening everything up, making everything look a little bit more natural, like it's been there for a while. Because, the way that I've done the trailer, it has that sort of patio area at the front. Obviously, it's not meant to be moved around. It's like someone had found this beautiful lake, park next to it, and, set up home there sort of semi-permanently. So that's why I sort of went for that look, sort of kind of built into the lake, but still looks like someone still drove up to it anyway. But in any case, I really hope you guys have enjoyed my speed build today. I hope you guys have had fun. And I do apologize for my voice. I know it's been a little bit croaky today. And I do hope it gets better quickly, because if I have to record any more voiceovers like this, I'm really going to struggle. It's been pretty hard. And I think because of that as well, that's why I think I've struggled trying to find what to talk about with you guys today as well. So I wouldn't say it's my best work, but the build itself was a lot of fun, and I do really enjoy it. And I think I'll probably end up playing with this one a lot. I did put it in Granite Falls, like I said before, but you could probably put it anywhere you like. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have maybe learnt a tip or two, and if you guys have any tips for me, especially with the whole voiceover thing, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you all. If you do have any questions, please pop them down below as well, and as always, have a lovely day, and thanks for joining me. Thanks everyone. Bye.